We are live, Mark. Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mark Forton, Chairman, Macomb County Republican Party, and this is April 8th, 2024, and for Macomb County, it is campaign season now for the 2024 election primaries and the general election. We had our campaign kickoff last week on the 4th. It was very successful. We got a lot of volunteers, very good attendance, and some of the candidates came and spoke. And we got a good number of volunteers for various things, including door to door, which was handy because 2 days later, we had an MIGOP sponsored door to door event for the 13th and 25th House districts special election in Michigan. Ron Singer running in the 13th, Josh Powell in the 25th. They met in our office in Clinton Township, and we had a good number of people going door to door, including Mr. Singer. State Party Chair Pete Hoekstra was in attendance, and he spoke and addressed everybody. And they went out with their walking lists, and they spent the afternoon going door to door for the 13th Ron Singer's race. There was also an event for Josh Powell at the same time. But we, being in Macomb, were focused on that. Now, we gave to both races. We consider them very important. Ladies and gentlemen, we need you to get out on April 16th. We need you to vote in those two races. We have a real opportunity here to stop the loss of our constitutional rights that we've been suffering for a few years now under Democratic rule since 2022. They have passed a number of laws violating our constitutional rights. They swear to defend our Constitution, yet they go there and they pass legislation left and right that are totally unconstitutional, and we suffer the consequences for it. Now, if we don't take the House back this year, they are going to pass legislation against homeschooling. They want to register homeschool kids with the state. Now, this corrupt state and their corrupt education system is destroying our children. They spend 12 years at public institutions. I dare not call them schools. 12 years of school, and they learn nothing. No math, no nothing. The record of the public education system in this country is terrible. The Department of Education should be dismantled and gone, and the schools have to be totally rearranged till they start teaching their 3 R's again. The Asian countries are teaching their children fantastic. They're teaching them at a fantastic level, and our kids, it goes years and they can't read. They don't teach them cursive, for Pete's sake. The government of the state of Michigan or the United States or your township has no right to determine or to know how you are educating your children. They have no right to know that your child is being homeschooled. It's none of their business. If they were doing their job, maybe we could debate a little bit. But there is no debate. They're absolute failures, and they want to control what your children taught at home are going to learn, which will be zilch. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got to take this house and save a segment of our population, because more and more people are learning that homeschooling is not that difficult and that their children will advance a whole lot more under parental supervision than supervision of the state. And we've got to prevent this. Do not comply. Do not tell the state, register your children with the state. Do not do it. It's illegal, unconstitutional law if they pass it, which hopefully, if we get out there in April, like we should, we can win these races, I believe that there's a whole lot of Democrat families out there that are working people like the rest of us. They're buying eggs like the rest of us. They're buying gasoline like the rest of us. They're under this terrible mess like the rest of us. And there's got to be a lot of them that don't like their children chopped up, that don't like their children indoctrinated in schools that change sexes and all this nonsense. They want them educated. So we think there's a lot of good people out there, American people who have been voting Democrat their whole life, that are starting to realize that the Democrat Party is the new Communist Party in the United States. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need to get out there and vote on April 16, especially only those of you in the 13th and the 25th. Get out there and vote. Your vote matters. Now, excuse me, I'm sorry. Now, also, this coming Thursday on the 11th is our monthly meeting in Macomb County Republican Party. At 5:30, the you who are coming from work or whatever, the buffet is $12. That's between you and the hall. They sell the tickets right there when you come. So 5:30 is a nice buffet, and then the meeting starts at 6:30. I believe Representative Josh, let's see, Josh, can't think of his name. Gonna
Josh
have to,
Shriver.
huh? Shriver. Josh Shriver. Should I kind of start that part over again? At our meeting this coming Thursday, Representative Josh Shriver will be there. He will be speaking. There will also be a lot of candidates speaking. I'm not sure who all. They're all welcome. Every Republican candidate is welcome to come and speak, and they know it. So there probably will be a number of them there, and they will all have a chance to address the people in attendance. So that again is a 6:30 meeting this coming Thursday with a 5:30 buffet, which will be very nice. Now you candidates should participate in the buffet. Gives you an hour before the meeting to talk to people and meet them and shake hands and introduce yourself. Excuse me. Now, in May, I believe, could be wrong, but coming up very soon, there's going to be voting in Washington about the WHO. I think of the WHO and I think of Dr. Seuss, but this isn't fun. The World Health Organization, ladies and gentlemen, they're trying to pass, they don't want to call it legislation, see, because that means the U.S. Senate would have to weigh in. They're trying to make a curveball around, but they're really pushing all these countries now to sign on to their new program for taking care of pandemics. We saw how the last pandemic was handled. Old folks dying in old folks' homes, our businesses closed, our churches closed. Right when we need God more than ever before, we can't go to church, right? Our right to freedom of religion. Every constitutional right we had in 2020 was stripped from us. Every one of them. And people died. And people are still being affected by these vaccines. They forced people to take vaccines. They forced our military, and many of them left. And now recruitment's down because of forced vaccinations. Our companies have been damaged. Restaurants have not reopened. All this sort of thing gone on. Never happened in American history before. Even with that great flu in the early 1900s, it was 10 times worse. 10 times worse. They didn't shut everything down. Now they want the World Health Organization to come into America and tell you and me that we got to do this or we got to do that. And this time there won't be no escape. There's those of us that resisted this stuff. And believe me, the ones that resisted it are very happy that they resisted it. But there won't be no resistance next time. Next time we'll be fined, imprisoned, Lord knows what, refusing to put up with their garbage. But anyway, there is an organization, the sovereigntycoalition.org, I believe, sovereigntycoalition.org. You go there and you can sign a document against all this. If you choose, go check it out at least. Check this out. There's so many people that don't want to look at this stuff. You got to look at it. This is not conspiracy theory. This is what they're really doing. And there's nothing but evidence out there on their own paperwork. Look, go to the UN. Look at the World Health Organization. Look at it all. Plus, they also, I read some of it today, they want to silence people protesting against it. So they will silence me, they will silence you, they will charge us just protesting against it. Golly, I thought that was called free speech. And this is all people like Bill Gates, a criminal who's buying up all of our farmland. They're damaging our food. They're putting insects in it. They're doing all kinds of stuff to our food, our air, our water. Because Bill Gates believes we got too many people. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need you to start doing a little bit of research for yourself and look into this stuff and take a look and see how dangerous this is. So we've got to take the House back, get out there April 16th and vote in the 13th and the 25th district for Singer and Powell. And let's change the balance of what's going on in Lansing and put an end to this unconstitutional grabs that they've been doing now for 2 years. Also, we've invested a lot, almost everything we've had in these races, and we've got to rebuild our coffers for November. We could really use your help. Go to Macomb-GOP.com and click donate and help us rebuild for November. We've got a lot to do. We've got to get Trump reelected. That'll be a big help right there. But we've got some good candidates who have to get elected. So we need your help. We need you to come to our meeting, get involved, volunteer, donate. God bless all of you and your families. God bless America. Let's pray for each other and our country because we really need it where we're at right now. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Sheila?
Hang on, let me end it.